And so many chapters still to be written in the story of the World 9-Ball Tour in 2024. And the story continues now with Mickey Krause taking on AJ Maness. It's unusual these days, Carl, to see Mickey Krause playing in a match, and he feels like the old man of the piece.
Yeah, last year's junior winner, AJ Maness. Huge following from the Philippines. Plays a lot of online challenge matches and thousands of people tune in to watch. And let me tell you something, he does not hang about on the pool table. Plays on pure instinct. And Mickey Krause is also one of the faster players, so this could be a real good match to watch as AJ Maness breaks off in rack number 1.
Yeah, Maness is basically in the sort of place that Mickey Krause himself was in maybe 4 or 5 years ago, just starting to make a bit of a name for himself as someone of potential for the future. Took Krause a few years to make that step up.
Didn't have a shot on the blue 2, hence the safety shot. Pretty good. I think Krause can get up near the pink 4 ball though and just try and make contact on the blue 2. Has he gone for the jump cue? Yeah, he has, so he can't get past the 8 ball, so there's no gap there, so he's trying to go straight into the blue 2 here. Just wants to leave a bit of distance. That's the idea. That is not the idea though. The scratch. Good safeties in 9-ball are a key and huge part of the sport. If you play good safeties, you're going to give yourself more opportunities at the table.
So they've both played 2 matches already and won them both. This is winners qualification. Whoever wins will be in the final 64. Whoever loses will have another match later today. One final chance to go through to the single elimination phase. And this is AJ Maness, 17 years of age, ranked 90th in the world. One of 31 players from the Philippines in the initial draw. They didn't all get here. Anton Raga was a no-show.
May have to go forward with a cue ball there. Yeah, just because he paused, so that told me he had a little bit of a funny angle. I say a funny angle, he was still okay, but just meant he had to run the cue ball off a couple of rails. And in rack 1, he's shown us why he's been tipped for big things.
Yeah, Mickey Krause scratched. AJ Maness did the rest. And in no time at all, he's into a 1-0 lead. So let's see what's going on elsewhere in this winners qualification round. And Robbie Capito, who like Mickey Krause has made the big title breakthrough this year, is level at 1-1 with Ko Ping Han. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, fresh off his win at the Perry Open, has won the opening rack against Max Eberle of the US. So things just getting started in this round, but a lot going on the loser side. So round 3, on the one-loss side of the draw, Eklund Kachi in action there. And he's finding it hard to shake off the British player, Jake Newlove. Kachi leading by just a single rack at the moment at 6-5. His younger brother, Claudio, is still going on the winner's side, and he's just gone 2-1 up on Wen Tan Trung. Swiftly on with rack 2.
seemed to lack a little bit of power. Unfortunate for the cue ball to find the pocket. All the balls are in the open. The blue 2 goes through that gap into the corner pocket. So this is actually a nice table layout.
Well, what an incredible year for Mickey Krause. 23 years of age. He started 2024 at number 68 in the world rankings. He's now up to 12th, and it's been about so much more than his European Open triumph in Germany. He's been very consistent throughout the year, doing well in events big and small. It's just a massive couple of weeks for him. He's going to be playing for Europe in the inaugural Reyes Cup in Manila next week. And he's in pole position to claim the one remaining automatic spot on the Mosconi Cup team, which will be decided here over the next few days. But even aside from all that, he now comes to these events as someone who's won one of them. And you alloy that to the consistency he's shown. He's now at a place in his career where he turns up to these tournaments knowing that it would be no great surprise if he ended up winning it.
You've got to be careful here though on these brand new slick tables. You've got to make sure you don't stun the ball too much. Get the spin working quick. Yeah, see how it come off the rail? And it's gone, even if he lands on it, it's gone wrong, hasn't it? Can always be a little bit of a weird shot, that. He sort of let the ball stun. He didn't get into the cue ball how he wanted. He may go for the bank, though, into the top right corner. That's what he's gone. It's close, but it's not there. Chance for Manus to steal the rack.
So ball in hand, not proving decisive in rack 2 as it did in the opener. This would be a very good early blow to strike. Oh, what a fine pot that is on the 9 ball. So it looked as though Mickey Krause was going to level. He didn't get position on the 9, went for the bank from distance, left a chance for Manus, and that really is a wonderful way for the youngster to clinch a 2-0 lead.
And that is 9 ball in a nutshell. You can put all the balls, get bad position on the 9, you miss the golden ball, and your opponent slots it home to steals the rack. I bet when Mickey Krause played the bank then, that would have felt good coming out of the queue because it wasn't that far away. But as Michael said, good pot from that young man there.
Well, you indicated at the start, Carl, that this match was likely to be very fast going, and so it's proving so far. Manus off to a fast start. He already leads 2-0.
Yeah, he has this big, long, sort of bridge hand on the break. Really long, and it's obviously something he's worked on this break. It's a little bit like what Jason Shaw's break has been all about. Not breaking at full potential on the power bar. More of a medium-ish control break. Down straight away, though. Look at this, another good shot here. Jump shot may tempt him here.
Two very different matches for Mickey Krause so far. Raced out into a big lead over Lou Van Viet, and although there was a little bit of a comeback from the Vietnamese player, Krause won 9-3, but he was behind for a lot of the way against Raymond Ferreon of Philippines. Got through Hill.
Needs a little bit of luck. It's very tight, that one. Even if he can get through to the pot, just look at where the blue 2 ball is. Difficult, this. Ooh, yeah. I think he may just go. He's got young guys as well, let's not forget. These may seem a little tougher the older you get. All about trying to get on the blue 2, though. Or thinking of a plan to play safe on the blue 2. Oh, look at the power he's generated here. It's a wonderful shot.
Looking very comfortable, playing one of the top players in the world now on the main table. No lack of confidence. Seems to feel right at home.
Yeah, we know how tight these side pockets are. You can't flick the near side jaw. It's just too sharp. And I tell you what, if he clears the table here, Michael, what a message he's sending out to his opponent. Because the opening shot was sublime.
He's won both his matches, 9-4 so far, against Venus Lim of Singapore and John Carlo Miraflor of the Philippines. He's got that air you often see in young, very talented players who aren't battle-scarred yet. Go out and play really well and look like they don't think it's any sort of big deal what they're doing. Very chilled out around the table.
You can't hold the cue ball here. So it's going to be going in and out of the kitchen line. And it can always go wrong just because of the pace, the amount of distance the cue ball's got to go. But that's not bad, is it?
I'll tell you what, some of the shots he's played, the opener and then the ball in the side, and that shot now to get on the 9. This has been a wonderful rack from AJ Manis. So it was only about 5 minutes ago it looked as though Mickey Krause was going to level at 1-all. Instead, he now finds himself 3-0 down. Eklund catches on the hill in round 3 on the loser's side. He's just won rack 12 to go 7-5 in front of Jake Newlove. So if he gets through that, he'll only need one more win. And that would be against the loser of the Low Ho Sum Ko Ping Chung match. And it's Ko Ping Chung leading there at the moment by 2 racks to 0. Claudio Cacci going well also in Winners Qualification, leading Wen Tan Trung by 3 racks to 1. Robbie Capito and Ko Ping Han level at 1-all. Johan Chua, runner-up to Mickey Krause in the European Open, has won the first rack against Pong Nam Pham. And Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has just added the second rack to lead Max Eberle of the US 2-0. And I'm just having a look in there on the action on table 2.
Look at the long bridge hand I was talking about. Well, this is going to sit up okay. He's got a shot on the red 3 ball here. Things are going along nicely here for Manis. Fond memories in this venue. The young man winning the junior event 12 months ago. He actually didn't show up for his trophy. I remember I was stood in the arena and Emily Fraser had the junior trophy and Ephraim was obviously giving the main event winner trophy out, and AJ Manis was a no-show.
Sure it's not the first time you've been stood up, Carl. Well, I was talking about him taking everything in his stride. That's taking it to real extremes. Oh, I'm going to win loads of these in the future. I don't need this one. Yeah, he won comfortably in that final against Lau Hongyen 9-2. Oh, look at this. So in absolutely no time, AJ Manis has raced into a 4-0 lead over one of the players of the year, Mickey Krause. It's a break and run, his first of the match. Krause has got a lot of work to do here. So did he ever get the trophy in the end?
Yeah, I'm sure we sent it him. I think he just got mistaken with the timing or something, but it was pretty funny.
Shane Wolford, US Mosconi Cup player last year, has lost the first couple of racks against Wang Ming of China. Michael Feliciano has been in a couple of ranking finals in recent times, has won the opener against Mustafa Alnar, who's made such an impact on the tour this year. Chang Yu Long has taken the first rack against American Billy Thorpe, who's one of those players battling for the remaining spots on the American Mosconi team for this year. 4-0 to Manis. He's not getting that one in the side though, is he? That's 5 breaks and he's only made the one in 2 occasions.
Yeah, Mickey's having a look at the 8-9 combo here, because if this is dead set, he'll use that 1 ball or the cue ball to possibly make the 9 ball. I think this can be made. Is he sending the 1 ball or the cue ball? Sending the cue ball into the 8 to pot the 9 for a quick rack. There it is.
Well, these guys look like they're in a hurry. 5 racks down already. Mickey Krause didn't win any of the first 4, but a very swift kill in that one. So Manis now leads 4-1.
Yeah, that's the only problem with AJ's break. If he doesn't pot the 1 ball in the side, it's unlikely he's going to fluke another ball just because there's no real power in the break shot. And Mickey likes to give him a go crack, so we'll see the difference in breaks in a moment, because Krause will be breaking. Very, very consistent at potting the 1 in the side pocket.
Well, he was bound to miss it after you said that, wasn't he, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, as well, you know, also, you know, he's not had much table time regarding the break as well, so you've got to just find that range. There you see it hit the top jaw. What's he left? He's not left a great deal. He's hooked, so it's going to be the push out. The very next shot after the break, you can play what we call a push, and that's for the reason here. The dry break from Mickey Krause. AJ Manis is hooked on the yellow 1 ball, so there's the push out. Mickey comes to the table, sizes it up. He'll play it or pass, but never in a month of Sundays he's giving this one back. He's left the long pot. It's not ideal what you want to do on the push out, but I suppose there's a bit of distance. But at this level, you do get punished for playing them push outs.
It's about 5 years ago now that Mickey Krause, as a teenager, started to go on decent runs in various events around Europe. Continued that into 2020 until, like so many players in various sports, he had his career progress halted by the COVID shutdown. And it took him a while to pick up from there and get moving forward again once things really got going. Had a good run at the US Open, though, in 2021, the first time it was played in Atlantic City. It was a different format then. It was only a 16-player single elimination phase. And he was 1 win away from getting into it. Beaten by John Morra in losers qualification. In the same year, He was part of the Denmark team that got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. It's the first time Denmark had even played in the tournament for 12 years, and they'd never won a match in it prior to that. Well, as you said, Carl, he's not had a great deal of table time, but he's played some good shots in this. Needs to come with another one now, though. This rack is far from taken care of just yet.
Yeah, the brown 7 didn't go in the middle of the pocket, did it? It sort of just wobbled its way in. It was a little bit like that, but the pace kept the 8 ball out. So AJ Manus has already stole one rack in this match by just potting the 9 ball. And now he just needs the last 2 in this rack.
So, big story potentially developing here. Mickey Krause, one of the standout men of 2024, is 5-1 down against the 17-year-old AJ Manus. Eklund Kachi has won. He's beaten Jake Newlove 8-5. So, having been sent early to the loser's side, he is now within 1 win of making the final 64. So in Winners Qualification, Claudio Kachi leading 3-2 against Win Tan Trung. Robbie Capito 2-1 up on Ko Ping Han. Oscar Dominguez, another of the players in the American Mosconi conversation, has taken the first rack against the recent ranking event winner, Georgi Georgiev of Bulgaria. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, right back in form with his Perry Open win just a few days ago, now leading 3-0 over Max Eberle. Wang Ming has got a 3-0 lead over Shane Wolford. And Ko Ping Chung is ahead of Lo Ho Sum by the same score. So Manus is 4 clear again. Let's see how the break goes this time.
Cue ball's close. Well, it got a little bit of help. Second time he scratched in that pocket off the break. Second time Krause has had rollings, ball in hand.
Remarkable to look at what he's achieved this year when you consider he didn't get further than the last 64 in any of the matchroom events in 2023. He was pretty consistent at getting to single elimination, but couldn't get any further. In some close ones, though, he was narrowly beaten by Viktor Zielinski at that stage of the World Championship in the snows of Kielce in February of last year. And at the US Open, he looked as though he might beat Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, the defending champion. But the Spaniard came back, ended up getting a fluke in the hill finish and won 10-9. He was also in the last 64 last year at the European Open and here in Hanoi when Fu Che Wei beat him. So last year really was a story of trying to just get that result that might spark the big breakthrough, and it just never came from last year. So Krause had ball in hand off a scratched break in rack 2 and wasn't able to get the job done. He's going to this time though. And with that, he reduces his deficit to 5-2. Even with the old break rules, Carl, it was pretty rare to see a match get through the first 7 racks as quickly as this. 3-all now between Claudio Kachi and Win Tan Trung. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has added another one, so now leads 4-0 over Max Eberle. Mustafa Alnar had such a great run at the World Championship this year. Levels at 1-1 with Michael Feliciano. And Carlo Biado, who's heading for Manila and the Reyes Cup next week, just starting out on table 13 against Salvador Garcia. Shane Wolford has opened his account against Wang Ming. He now trails 3-1. Back to this one, it's 5-2.
That was very, very attacking. Missed it by some way.
Manus looking to get to the last 64 of one of these big matchroom events for the second time this year. Got there in the World Championship and had a tough route. Beat the very good Canadian player John Morra in a hill-hill finish, and then had a 9-7 win over Chang Yung Lin, former World Championship runner-up. Was heavily beaten though in the last 64 by Alexander Kazakis. Only managed to get one rack on the board, Manus. Oh, could still go in. So much going his way here. And this is a good chance now to lead by 4 racks for the third time. Oh, watch. Ooh. Well, it was moving so quickly I didn't even have time to say watch the 9.
Yeah, it was close, wasn't it, as it come flying back down table, but maybe that's the bit of inexperience that the youth players, you know, seem to have. That was such a low percentage shot. You look like a hero if you pop the 5, but jacked up, full length. Just so tough. Awkward queue in here for Krause, though. You know, this is a big moment in the match. A match where he's not had loads of table time. Oh, that's nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, this gives it a different complexion. So for the first time in the match, it's 2 racks in a row for Mickey Krause, and overall he's now won 3 of the last 4. Having trailed 4-0, he's now only a couple behind at 5-3. Ko Ping Chung 3-0 up on Lo Ho Sum. Shane Wolford's got another one back. He's now only 1 behind at 3-2 against Wang Ming. Skylar Woodward, US Moscone Cup captain, has won the first against Zhang A Bao of the host nation. And Francisco Sanchez Ruiz threatening a whitewash. Now leads Max Eberle 5-0. Marvin Assis of the Philippines, who almost beat Shane Van Boning here last year. It's a 3-1 lead over Wen Kong Tan. Oscar Dominguez has gone 2-0 up now on Georgi Georgiev. Johan Chua is leading 2-1 over Phuong Nam Pham. Robbie Capito is a 3-1 lead against Ko Ping Han. Back to the main table, one in the side again for Krause.
I'm wondering if he's tempted. No, I was thinking, is he going to be tempted with the bank? But, well, maybe after the safety shot, he wishes he would have been a bit more attacking. The reason why I thought the bank into the top left is because I thought there may be some sort of two-wayer. Now we may as well... Oh, well, he left the gap. That little cluster of balls where the 9 ball is. Krause had to get the hook there. Now he's kicking at the blue too, off 2 rails. If he hits this ball, good things can happen because of that little cluster in the middle of the table. There you go. That's what he will have known. You might think that was lucky, but it was well executed. The pace was tremendous as well.
Wow, what a moment that is, and he's got a shot in the 3 as well.
Yeah, it just bumped it, didn't it? What angles he left with here. There's another look. Look at the cue ball. Well, he's got this bit of an angle, but it's very close. It's always a bit touchy, this. It's a shot pros just never feel 100% with.
Sometimes you get young players who get hyped up at a very early age, and then they go out in one of the main tables against one of the top players, and it's a bit of a reality check for them, and you start to wonder whether the hype has all been a bit premature. What AJ Manis is doing today is the complete opposite of all of that. Ooh, but that's a setback. And that could be a very big moment in the match. Had a chance to reassert himself. But now, Krause is back at the table and looking to reduce his deficit to a single rack.
There's always a shot I wasn't fond of this. It's a lot thinner when you're behind it, let me tell you. Oh, he's handled it well though. The last 12 months we spoke about, Mickey Krause has kind of made it a year for him to remember on the WNT, and all the experience from the last 12 months is coming to use now, because he was 5-1 down.
Yeah, that miss on the 6 has the potential to be the most significant moment of the match, because it let Mickey Krause back in. He's now won 3 in a row. He'll be breaking, looking to draw level. So Robbie Capito, who like Krause, as I was saying, has won a major title for the first time this year, now leading Ko Ping Han 4-1. Claudio Cacci just ahead of Win Tan Trung at 4-3. Chang Yulong has won all of the first 3 racks against Billy Thorpe. Pong Nam Pham has recovered to 2-all with Johan Chua. Oscar Dominguez has added another one and leads Georgi Georgiev 3-0. Gerson Camayas of the Philippines now 3-2 up on Lu Ri Teng. Marvin Assis with a 3-2 lead over Wen Kon Tan. Skylar Woodward has made it 2-0 against Zhang A Bao. And that is the Ko Ping Chung Low Ho Sum match. Ko at the table, leading 3-1. Remember, the loser of that will play Eklund Cacci in losers qualification. Straight back to this.
2 ball. Yes, it goes, Michael. It goes past the brown 7. It's amazing. You know, when you're coming back into a match and it's your opponent that has made errors to let you, get back in, it's amazing how many times you break off and you have a shot on the lowest ball. Needs a good positional shot here, though. He's going to get deep into the cue ball, swing it round a couple of rails. Cue ball head towards the pink 4 direction. Oh, this is good. This is very good.
Talking earlier about how Krause was looking throughout 2023 for that breakthrough moment. I think it really came at the World Championship when he knocked out the defending champion Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz, then beat Billy Thorpe, ended up losing to Dang Junhui in the last 16. He'd already been to the last 16 of the UK Open, so it was a couple of very good runs at very big events, and then of course went to Fulda and won that European Open. He's played a decent shot here to keep Manus under a bit of pressure. It's just at that stage where you can really feel the tide starting to turn. This is a chance for Krause to make it 4 in a row and complete his recovery from 5-1 down to all square.
Yeah, I think after this rack, Manus should get himself out of the building for 5 minutes. That would be a wise move. Maybe wash the old face down, regroup, reset, because it's still 5-5. It's amazing, even though the scoreline is 5-5, it's amazing how Mickey Krause is going to feel the better of the two, and it's 5-all. Of course, he's still got to get these balls. One more good shot to get on the 8 should seal the deal.
We often talk about how quickly things can change in this game, and it's particularly so in this match because of the breakneck speed it's been played at. How long ago was it that AJ Manus was on the brink of a 6-3 lead? Only about 5 minutes ago. He missed that 6 ball. Krause has taken charge since then. So from 5-1 down, he's now level, and it's a race to 4 from here. Quick look at some of the other scores. Ko Ping Chung 4-1 up on Low Ho Sum. Wang Ming led Shane Wolford 3-0. The American got back to 3-all, but the Chinese player has just won rack 7 to get back in front. Skylar Woodward 3-0 up on Zhang A Bao. Mustafa Alnar leads Michael Feliciano 3-1. Marvin Assis 3-2 up on Wen Kong Tan. Gerson Kamayas now leading 4-2 over Lu Riteng. Oscar Dominguez cruising along 4-0 now against the informed Georgi Georgiev. And Claudio Kachi, well, he did get it to 5-3 against Win Tan Trung, but the Vietnamese player has just got one back, so that's 5-4 now to Kachi. Chang Yulong leads Billy Thorpe 3-0. Back here, it's all changed. Mickey Krause level at 5-all as he breaks in rack 11. This time, no one in the side.
Now look how close that 1 ball was. Watch out, scratch. Ooh, has it just sat on the point there, Michael? It just seemed to come to rest. I don't know. Very, very close. That ain't going to get the job done. The blue 2 is tied up. However, what angle has Manners got here? Potting the ball. We call this the natural angle. Is the natural path going into the 2 balls? It is. Look at that. Again, close to the scratch. Well, I don't envy him here, queuing out of that pocket, trying to pot it in that side. This is very tough.
Yeah, and it's the sort of shot that looks a good deal tougher when you've lost 4 racks in a row and you've surrendered a big lead than it might have done when he was flowing along earlier in the match. And now Krause is at the table with a chance to lead for the first time. He's one of those players who just wants to be playing all the time, travels around to lots and lots of tournaments, and I think that's been a factor in his huge leap forward this year as well. He's done well in so many of the smaller ranking events. Got to a quarter-final in Massachusetts back in March, the semi-finals in Dubai just after the World Championship, and then won his first ranking title the following week in Romania. Just last week he was in the semi-finals of the Hanoi Open. Very high quality ranking event, strong fields, prize money pretty close to this one. He was 1 rack away from beating Francisco Sanchez Ruiz and getting to the final there. Disappointing US Open, went out in the last 64, but it was a bit unfortunate to find himself up against former US Open champion Joshua Filler at that early stage. Even then he was 1 rack away from winning. So Mickey Krause was 5-1 down in this match. He looked as though he was going to be trailing 6-3. But now, for the first time, he leads. Mickey Krause hits the front at 6-5. I don't know exactly what time this match started, but it was only about 40 minutes ago. It's an amazing pace. 11 racks completed already. Shane Wolford and Wang Ming involved in a wonderful match on table 20. It's level again now at 4-all. Robbie Capito 4-1 up on Ko Ping Han. Cledio Kachi's just gone 6-4 against Win Tan Trung. And Johan Chua back in front against Pong Nam Pham. That one is 3-2. Oscar Dominguez now leading 5-0 against Georgi Georgiev. And Antonis Kakaris of Greece has won the first against world champion Fedor Gorst. Krause in front for the first time.
Red 3 ball. That's going to be the big shot in this rack. Good break. He's on this blue 2 nicely. Again, it's all about that red 3. Doesn't look like it goes past the brown 7, so is he going to try and slide in behind it? It's actually a really good effort, you know. It really is. In fact, it's a phenomenal effort. So easy to overhit that ball, Michael, and land on the bottom rail with the cue ball, and you're hooked. Just look at where he's left it there.
As I said, Krause very much embroiled in the race for Mosconi Cup places. There's one place left on the European team, and he's currently the front runner for that last automatic spot. And of course, if you're the one leading going into the last event, you know you don't have to concern yourself with what anyone else does, because if you win the tournament, obviously nobody can catch you. As it is, there are 3 players came into the week able to overtake him: David O'Cady, Victor Zielinski, and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Zielinski and Sanchez Ruiz could only get ahead by winning the tournament. Ooh. Well, a missed 6 ball from AJ Manis deprived him of a 6-3 lead. Krause has missed the 6 at the other end of the table and given Manis a chance to get level again.
Yeah, that's very worrying, very bizarre. Seems to want to hit the ball very hard, does Krause, all the time. Maybe that's a youth thing as well. As you get a bit older, you learn to just play things a little softer. Well, Manis started off looking like a genius. It has all gone drastically wrong.
And he may actually have been a bit fortunate with how this is finished.
Not easy to get the hook here. Very easy to leave a gap. This game he's had everything, and it's been played in a wonderful pace as well. Nearly 12 racks played in pretty much no time at all.
I think we're averaging probably under 4 minutes a rack, and that even includes the time to rack the balls up again between.
Needs a bit of luck here. What shot is he going to leave? Well, he's going to leave a pot into the bottom right corner. He's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball, though. That's the angle he's got.
Well, it's turned into one of those racks that whoever loses it is going to have significant regrets. Krause with the missed 6, Manis with the missed 7. And the 8 just dribbles in, and this really is threatening to turn into one of the best matches we've seen on the World 9-Ball Tour all year. And it's a match which is level once again. AJ Manis makes it 6-all.
Was not happy with the way he hit the 8 ball. He felt like he missed it. He caught a lot of that bottom rail. Sometimes you see him stay up. Sometimes they just seem to slide in.
Well, that's the missed 6 from Krause, and that was what really broke his momentum. He played some very good shots to get himself to that position. But then Manis missing the 7, and a bit fortunate not to leave it for Krause. And it's all finished with the young Philippines player drawing level once again at 7-all. Just to finish that point I was making about the Mosconi race, as I was saying, Zielinski and Sanchez Ruiz both have to win the tournament to have a chance to overtake Krause for the last automatic spot. David O'Cady can get ahead of him by getting to the final, but if Krause makes it as far as the last 32, then that possibility is ended, and O'Cady would have to win the tournament to claim the last of the 3 guaranteed spots on the team. 6-all and a wonderful match here.
This is a really, really good split of the balls here. Just make sure you get an angle on the pink 4.
Well, this is so impressive. The match has turned against him from the big lead that he had. He's not looking phased by that. He's heading back into his earlier flow here. Closing in on his second break and run of the match. Well, he lost 5 racks in a row to trail 6-5. Looked like he might be about to trail 7-5. But instead, AJ Manis, with an emphatic break and run, is back into the lead. It's 7-6. So, elsewhere, Fedor Gorst has won the second rack to draw level at 1-1 with Antonius Kakaris. Claudio Cacci is a couple of racks away from single elimination. He leads Win Tan Trung by 7 racks to 4. Robbie Capito is 5-1 up now on Ko Ping Han. Oscar Dominguez is leading 5-0 over Georgi Georgiev. Max Eberle has averted the whitewash, but he still has a mountain to climb to avert defeat because he trails Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 7-1. Mustafa Alnar, what a year he's having. And what a day he's having today, leading 6-1 over Michael Feliciano. Skylar Woodward 4-1 up on Zhang A Bao. Carlo Beato has won the first couple of racks against Salvador Garcia. Shane Wolford has really turned it around to lead 6-4 over Wang Ming, and Ko Ping Chung is a 5-2 lead against Lo Ho Sum. 7-6 here to Manis. Here's rack 14.
He's missed the one ball in the left centre. Is it going to make it to the right centre? It's not.
Look at the difference that little fraction makes. Instead of having a chance to get going here, he's now left it sitting for Krause. Yeah, I'm not sure he would have had a shot at potting the two, but he would have been in control of the table. And as it was for Krause, he had a very simple positional shot to get on the two. This is the fastest match you've ever seen. This is incredible pace. Over on table 2, Ko Ping Chung, last year's US Open champion, going well, leading Lo Ho Sum 5-2.
Yeah, just particular styles of players, isn't it? You know, these two guys who are watching, they're known for just playing instinct 9-ball, just getting on with it. The balls are helping. The balls are coming out in the open.
Well, I'm often blown away, Carl, by your ability to pick out a shot that nobody else might have seen and then the player produces it. But it's a similar story here. You made the call at the start. You highlighted how fast these two guys are, and they have more than delivered so far. Wonderful entertainment here in Hanoi.
That's the type of shot I was on about with Mickey Krause. That's what I've noticed. Them shots, when you're not perfect on them, he seems to play them with a little bit too much pace. He was quite fortunate that one wobbled and fell in.
He's just asking a question of himself here. Oh, this looks good though. So Manis missed the one in the side, almost fluked it on the other side of the table. Instead, he left it over the pocket. Krause has taken care of business from there. We're level again. It's 7-all.
Couple of them pots in that run out did not go in the middle of the pocket. So even though he got the job done, I do believe he's not 100% happy where he's queuing. Let's see if we could. This was the one. See how he thumped it into the rail? Took a bit of a wobble in the end, but listen, doesn't matter. He slots home the 9.
Claudio Cacci might just be the first player through to the final 64. He's on the hill now at 8-4 against Win Tan Trung. Georgi Georgiev isn't going to get whitewashed because he's won rack 6, but he's still a long way behind against Oscar Dominguez, the American leading there 5-1. 7-all here.
He's got a look at the blue too, and he has a bit of an angle. The red 3, he's on the left side of the table, perfect for the pink 4. This seems to be a great opportunity now. Yeah, look at this. This is, well, you pay big money for a split like this. One decent shot here, just roll the cue ball forward.
Emily Fraser, ahead of Matchroom Multisport. What a brilliant couple of weeks it is for the World 9-Ball Tour. Got this Hanoi Open, which was such a success in its inaugural staging last year, and then on to another new event next week, the Reyes Cup. I know you've been to the venue, Carl. Of course, you're going to be captaining the European team, and I saw pictures of you walking into it, and I could almost see it in your eyes that you were sensing what sort of an amazing atmosphere we could have there next week.
Yeah, it's very oldie worldy. It's got a certain type of vibe about it. I think it's going to be very warm in there, and I think it could be very loud.
Mickey Krause will be there playing for Team Europe. And if he can pop these last 2 balls, he will be 1 rack away from playing in single elimination here. And a timely break and run takes Mickey Krause to the hill. The Dane leads 8-7. As we look again at some of the moments of that rack, I think it's fair to say Krause has been more effective with the break, making the one in the side. You saw it there once again. Robbie Capito now leads 6-1 against Ko Ping Han. Jerson Comayas of the Philippines has a 6-3 lead over Lu Ri Teng. FSR's on the hill now, 8-1 against Max Eberly. Skylar Woodward having a great day, 6-1 he leads Zhang A Bao. And Mustafa Alnar now leading 7-2 against Michael Feliciano. Mickey Krause needs 1 more.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the scores myself then, Michael. Fedorgos is tied at 1-1, and Kakarakis from Greece, he won the first rack what seemed like about 30 minutes ago.
Probably played about 5 or 6 racks in this match since then. So, how have they come up here for Mickey Krause? Very nicely.
Played that nice, hasn't he? He's got close to his work. Couple of rails. One good shot here just to leave himself the right side of the purple 5. Yet again, hits the ball a little bit too hard. And he's lost a cue ball by somewhat and all. I mean, where's he going with the cue ball?
We've seen some wonderful fluent pool in this match, but you need a bit of this to make it a truly memorable contest. Unexpected misses here and there, and we've had our share of those. Now AJ Manis has a chance to give this wonderful match the hill finish it deserves. Looks fairly routine from here. Mickey Krause surely sitting there reflecting that he should be mopping up the last moments of a fine win here. Instead of which, he's now got to prepare himself for a deciding rack. Because AJ Maness has drawn us level once again. It was 6-all, it was 7-all. Now it's 8-all, and Maness will break in the one rack which will decide which of these players advances undefeated to the final 64. Well, whoever it is won't quite be the first to get there, because Cledi Okachi has won that particular race. The young Albanian has seen it off at 9-4 against Win Tan Trung. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz may not be too far behind, leading Max Eberly 8-1. It's 5-all now between Marvin Assis and Wen Kong Tran. Phong Nam Pham of Vietnam is now 4-3 in front of Johan Chua. Mustafa Alnar is on the hill as well, 8-2 against Michael Feliciano. Shane Wolford just needs a couple more, leading Wang Ming 7-5. Ko Ping Chung is now 5-3 in front of Lo Ho Sum. So Maness has the break in the deciding rack, but fair to say, the break hasn't always been his friend in this match. Here's the decider. Got the one in the side this time. What else has he got?
He's not going to get a look at it. I think he's just pulled up, so he can't play the pot.
Mustafa Alnar is through. He's beaten Michael Feliciano 9-2. A fine win that over the Philippines player.
Push out's not going to be easy. Well, I'm sure he'll get this one back. No value in taking this shot on. Surely Krause doesn't take this ball on. You've got to think percentages here. The cue ball's going to be moving very quick. Yeah, listen, I don't blame him. Just this style of jump shot, full length. And the distance from cue ball to 9 ball. The cue ball will be moving fairly quick, which makes the pot tougher. It means the 2 ball's got to go in the heart of the pocket.
He did pot one like this earlier in the match though, didn't he? And I think that was on the 2 ball as well. And he's done it again.
Boy, has he controlled that nicely. What a great shot.
And once again, his face has that expression of youth written on it, as if to say, what's the big deal? Wonderful stuff from Maness. And now, a wonderful chance to win a match that just a few minutes ago looked like it was all but gone from him.
Wants an angle here though. It's gone a little bit funny. He might have to draw the cue ball back. Play for the green 6 in the left centre pocket. What's the pace like? The pace is absolutely spot on. Well, he played the push out into a long jump shot. You cannot fault Mickey Krause for not wanting to take it on.
What an absolute cracker of a match. AJ Maness led 5-1. He trailed 6-5. He turned it round to lead 7-6. But it was Krause who got to the hill first at 8-7. It looked as though he was going to finish it off in the next rack. But he let Manus back in, and helped by a wonderful pot with a jump shot in the deciding rack. AJ Manus has defeated Mickey Krause, one of the standout players of the year, by 9 racks to 8. Manus is through to the final 64. Krause will have to head to the loser side and find a win there if he is to make his way into tomorrow's play. Wonderful match, all completed in the space of about an hour, even though it went the full distance. Manus the winner, 9-8, and the action continues very shortly with Duong Quoc Huang, the leading player from the host nation, up against Roland Garcia of the Philippines. That will be along in just a few minutes' time.